I'll do a review of the KG-1000G Plus. 2 volume buttons, your power button, A, B, C, D. A, B, C, D can be programmed to whatever you want. We'll go through one of the option ranges whenever we get to one of them in the menu settings. If you menu the same way with the hand mic, the front of the radio and the hand mic both have a menu, they both have an area, they both have an up and down, and they both have an exit. The menu here, the choices you have here are the same choices you have on the hand mic. You got area, menu, up, down, exit. Now, on the hand mic, you have the weather button, the megahertz, band, channel add, power, mode, repeater on and off, TDR to have 1 or 2 channels active. As you see, 1, 2 channels active. You have the squelch is number 9, so you can hit there and you can adjust your squelch on the fly. Whenever you go into the squelch option, is option number 1. Whenever you go into squelch option, you hit menu twice and it'll go to 1. On 0, it'll open up the squelch, so it has real time squelch to tell you if you've removed the signal that you're trying to remove or not. It goes all the way up to 9. When you get to 9, it goes back to 0 and then back to 1. On the second option is your wide narrow band. Wide, narrow. Just pretty much between the only buttons you're using is the menu button and the up and down arrows to run the menu. So when you go into the menu, up and down, then you hit the menu button again to select what you're looking for. The third menu option is backlighting. Always on, or it goes to off or 20 seconds. I always leave it on. That's just my preference. Repeater. Now, the repeater will only give you an option. You see how I'm pressing the menu button, it's not giving me no option. It'll only let you do that whenever you're in a mode to add a channel. So right here, I'm in a mode to add a channel. I hit megahertz. Exit, that's not the right one. So I go in here, you get that 50. And then go to band. And I can go in here and now 462.575, and now I can go to menu and go to repeater, on, off, and then that'll be where whenever I'm done and I save this channel into the radio, it will show with the repeater on. Now go back to band. You can go through all the bands. Now, the one thing to remember about this radio is, on the left side, you can, right here's the 6 meter band. Then you got 320, 720, the air band, and the, all the way up to 170, I believe, 170 something. And then the 470 centimeter band. The problem is, on this side, you get that, but on this side, if you go to the band and you go through, you only get the 2 meter, 70 centimeter. You get all the bands on this side, but on the right side, you only get the 2 meter and 70 centimeter band. Now we'll get back to the repeater. Power. Now power, you can set, hit menu, you got high, medium, and low. High is about 43 watts at high is 43 watts if you're running off of like a car battery. If you're running off of an alternator that has more voltage, like 14.8 volts or 14.2 volts, you'll get 48 watts. If you're running over 15 volts, you'll get 50 plus watts. Just depends on how many volts you're running into the radio. A lot of people are going to ask, how fast does it scan? How fast does it scan? That's a big deal, how fast it scans. I feel like it's a little slow, but anymore these GMRS radios, none of them scan very fast. But the cool thing about this radio is you can scan on the A and the B side. So you can hit scan over here, then you can go over here, and you can hit scan over here. And what I try to do, I try to match each one up, kind of separate them enough that it's like double scanning, like twice as fast on both of them, on whatever my list is. And you can set up scan groups where you only scan 1 through 20. Let's say you put 900 channels in here because it'll hold 999. If you put 900 channels in here, you can set it to scan the first 100 or 60 to 70 or 90 to 100. You can do that. It has 10 scan groups, so that's handy. But that's how fast it scans. Then they're stopping on a ham repeater. They're double stopped. Then it's gonna roll on. It works pretty good. It's pretty fast. I mean, it's not like a scanner. So if I shut it off and I turn it back on, in the right here, it's going to tell you the voltage. Watch. 13.12. So whenever we get the meter running here and we are on, gonna have to put it on a channel that we can key up on. Exit. Okay. Now this will key up, and as I key up, you will see what we have going on here. See, it went from 43 down to 41. Down to 40. And that's the problem with running a car battery. It stops at 40 and evens off. And that's where it is whenever you're running off. Let's say it's plugged in your car and you don't got the engine started. It goes down to 40 and just sits there. Key up one more time. That repeater is about 10 miles away. That's just whenever you just have it straight hooked up to a battery, that's what you get. I've noticed whenever you have it in the car, and I'll do a demonstration of that from the car with the higher voltage, you get like 47 whenever you're running the alternator in the car. Now, whenever and you can hear the fan. You hear the fan turn on and off. Like right now, this is how loud it is without the fan on. This is how loud it is with the fan off. And then when I key it up, the fan's gonna come on. Let's change it to a channel that it don't have noise whenever, that there's not gonna be no response from a repeater. That's how loud the fan is. It's not overwhelming. It's not, even if you leave it on, like if we go here and we go to menu and then we go to 51, go to fan setting and go always. It's not overwhelming. It definitely is working. It's doing its job, and that's what you want. So you don't want something that's so quiet that it's so pathetic that it can't move air. And if you look on the side here, you see the holes back there, and the holes there and there. That's where the air is being drawn in here and then spread out, and the heat comes out these little holes on the side. The connecting port is right there. You see that's where the mic connects. And then you got right here. And it's got 8 wires. Just if you're curious, I'm not saying you are. You got 8 wires. Like, to me, I'm not sure there. But that goes in with the plastic little flippy lip. It goes towards you, and then you put it in there. I'm holding the camera, and then you just press, and it's in. Push the little rubber grommet back on it, and then you're good to go. Now, the mic. One thing I noticed, but look at the number 5 key. You see how the number 5 key has that little tiny indented dot. Okay, let me get it to focus in here. So there we go. The little dot in the top of the left hand corner is the power button. Now, I don't know if if you close your eyes and let's say you're in the dark in your car and the remote has a light that you can turn on and off, like right now it's on. If you switch this button, it's off. And then above that is the lock and unlock. See the light switch and then the lock and unlock, and if you put the light switch on, the lights light up. But that little button on there, when you rub your finger across the power button, you can tell. And I don't know, it's just a cool feature. There's where the microphone is up there, and then up top you have the volume, and this little wheel on here just slides back and forth, so left, right, that's up, that's down. And then whenever you key up, I can do it right here. Oh, there he goes. Just did it myself. Whenever the mic is being RX is green on the left side, and then when you transmit, it lights up on the right side. Pretty straightforward, but somebody's keying up the repeater. WRBR 970. Yep, it was nobody. But sometimes people just key the repeater up. Like has on the side here, it's got the speaker up top here that you can turn up and down the volume by the little wheel. Then you got your mic hook. Then you got your speaker. And then it feels good. It's not bad. I mean, it's not like a solid Kenwood mic, but there's some weight to it. It feels alright. It's not like it's definitely not like one of them mics they give you with a Baofeng. It's different. It feels good. It feels like it's reasonable. So, some backstory. I don't know if you know much about the man that makes Ocean radios, other name Wuxon or Ocean. And, he started the radio building, I think, from his garage whenever it was probably in 2000. And then he started making radios for the public sector and to try to make a better radio for people out of China. Remember, I've had radios that have failed from disconnecting them from the power while they're still on. Try to always shut your radios off, or you might fry them. And always let them cool down before you unplug them. That's probably a good thing to do, too. This radio takes pretty much like a T connector here. It's got one prong goes one way, the other prong goes the other way. This prong is popular. QYT, QYT, TYT, Kenwood, Wuxon. I think both of their 20 watt and this radio take this connector. You can buy a cigarette lighter for this radio if you have a more heavy duty vehicle like a pickup truck or an SUV. You can plug this into the cigarette lighter. I mean, you do that at your own risk, but yeah, it's up to you what you do. But it only runs about 9 amps for what I've seen. So you're really not going to overload like a GMC Yukon or a Silverado. Coax connector, PL259, fan, power cord. The fan has 3 options. Now you can either set it to be on whenever you transmit, be on when that's one option. Another option is it'll stay on and run whenever the radio is hot. So when you transmit, or if the radio's heat sensor says that it needs to run, it runs. Or you can set it to run all the time. As soon as you turn on the power button, it starts running right away. Them are your 3 options. Also, you can change, the other thing that you can change about the radio is in the menu, you can change the medium power setting in the menu on the radio from 10 to 20, from 20 to 10. It's set to 20 for the factory. So whenever you get the radio from the factory, it'll be set on 5-6 watts for low, medium it'll be 20, and high will be 48. But the medium power setting, you can change it to 10 watts, but that's up to you. I've noticed the medium power setting really runs like 22 watts, not 20, and the low setting runs 6 watts. So it just depends on what you prefer. Yeah, that would be nice to have more distant contacts and have people where we could test the radios just a little bit better than what we're doing right now. I would like to get some people at some distance. Some repeaters are at distance to check the range, but I would like to get more people, into the GMRS.
Well, this is how we do it. We contact more people and try to keep in touch with the other people from other clubs and try to get more people that aren't in it, make them aware of it, and see if we get some more people interested.
The beeping noise is my car doors open, and after I start the car, that'll stop. But I want to check the watts with the engine off. I'm on a repeater channel. The 34, 35, the same. Now, if I start the vehicle, if I start the car, and give the engine just a second to do the power, right away, it probably will be different. Watch. That's what I'm telling you guys. You will not get the full power from this radio unless you're like this. My vehicle, I don't know, it runs like almost 15 volts. And whenever you're inside the vehicle with the engine started, it'll work great. But if you're running like off of your engine shut off, it isn't that good. 1.01, I lost what? 0.04, not much. But it just shows you how much difference there is between your engine off, your engine on, and the difference between what you get with the voltage. Now, if I go down to channel 16, the SWR, I have it zeroed in for the repeater channels, but 48, 47 on, I lost 2.4 watts because the SWRs is 1.5, but I have this radio zero. This antenna is a Browning 450, and I have it zeroed in for the repeater channels. But if we go to another repeater channel, or we could go down to 1. If we go down to 1, let me show you the power you get on channel 1. 4.7. And then you go to 8. Actually, it's not going to work because it's a restricted channel. We go to 15 is the lowest we can go. 48, 48, 49, 50. So it's actually putting out 51 watts of power. But you see how the SWR was a little bit worse on the simplex channel than the repeater channel. The radio made up for the difference because really it put out more than 50 watts. But you see 48 2.21 is kind of its ground area where it kind of rests. But if you look at the bottom, I lost 2.48 watts. And it was 50 something when I first hit the clicker. And it settles out to 48. But I just wanted to show you guys the difference in the car of the radio, how it works. I bought this radio, and the other radios I get, I bought off of Amazon, and buy two-way radios. They're good guys. They'll help you out. Definitely the Browning 450 antenna is a good antenna to go with. I've got 100-mile shots from the vehicle to the repeater, 100+ miles. So yes, it's possible. It just depends on where you're at and where the repeater's at, or you might only get 2 miles of range.